Many of the timber beams holding up medieval churches, bridges, barns and city gates today were installed when iron was still hand-forged and stone was moved by muscle alone. These beams were not protected by pressure treatment, synthetic sealants or plastic barriers. Yet they endured damp climates, insect pressure, freeze-thaw cycles and centuries of neglect. The uncomfortable truth for modern builders is that medieval craftsmen understood rot prevention at a deeper level than most contemporary construction manuals teach. They did not fight decay after it appeared. They designed wood to be biologically hostile to rot from the moment the tree was cut. The method they relied on was simple, repeatable, and based on natural chemistry. Once understood, it explains why many modern structures quietly fail while medieval ones still stand. Medieval builders knew that rot is a biological process, not just moisture damage. Rot does not happen because wood gets wet. It happens because fungi are allowed to digest the sugars inside the wood. Medieval builders recognized this long before microscopes existed. Their approach focused on denying fungi what they need to survive: sugars, oxygen, stable moisture, and access points. Instead of sealing wood airtight, which traps moisture and accelerates decay, they altered the wood's chemistry so fungi could not thrive, even when exposed to rain. This understanding shaped every decision they made, from how trees were harvested to how beams were set into stone walls. Modern builders often skip this stage entirely, assuming treatments will compensate later. Medieval craftsmen knew there was no compensation for bad preparation. The forgotten trick was mineral saturation using lime ash and alkaline exposure. One of the most effective medieval rot-proofing methods was soaking or washing timber in alkaline solutions derived from wood ash or lime. These materials were readily available in medieval settlements and were already used for mortar, tanning hides, and food preparation. When wood was exposed to these alkaline compounds, its internal pH shifted to a range hostile to fungi and insects. In practice, beams were sometimes soaked in ash-rich water, brushed repeatedly with lime wash, or stored in environments where mineral dust penetrated the grain. This did not coat the wood, it chemically altered it. Fungi require slightly acidic conditions to thrive. By raising the pH, medieval builders created timber that resisted decay even in damp environments. A modern application is straightforward. Wood ash from hardwood fires can be mixed with water and strained to create an alkaline solution. Brushing this onto unfinished wood and allowing it to dry before installation mimics the medieval effect. Lime wash, still available today, can be diluted and applied in thin layers to structural timbers, especially in crawl spaces and barns. Iron, tannins, and mineral interaction created natural preservatives. Medieval builders unknowingly used advanced chemistry by combining iron fasteners with tannin-rich woods like oak and chestnut. When iron oxidized in contact with tannins, it formed iron tannate, a compound resistant to biological decay. This reaction darkened the wood, but it dramatically increased its durability. This is why, oak beams around iron nails in medieval halls often remain solid while surrounding areas degrade. The iron was not a weakness, it was actually part of the preservation system. To replicate this today, untreated iron can be intentionally paired with tannin-rich woods. Some traditional builders even pre-treat wood with iron solutions made by soaking iron scraps in vinegar, then applying it before construction. The resulting chemical reaction, it strengthens the wood against rot without synthetic additives. Medieval rot prevention did not rely on treatments alone. Builders designed structures to dry quickly. Beams were raised off soil on stone piers. Rooflines were steep and extended far beyond walls. End grain was protected by joints rather than left exposed. Airflow was always prioritized. A modern builder, applying medieval logic, would focus on drainage, ventilation and material separation before reaching for preservatives. No treatment survives poor design. Medieval builders understood that water management is the first defense against decay. Industrial building shifted focus towards speed and standardization. Chemical treatments replaced knowledge. Timber became disposable rather than generational. Medieval methods require patience and understanding, not just products. And as a result, modern buildings often fail silently within decades, while medieval ones remain structurally sound after centuries. The medieval rot-proofing trick was never lost because it stopped working. Actually, it was lost because it could not be packaged and sold easily. This knowledge matters now more than ever. For anyone building off-grid, restoring historic structures, or preparing for long-term self-reliance, medieval wood preservation offers proven low-tech solutions that work without modern supply chains. This is not nostalgia. It is applied historical intelligence. If this guide brought value to your understanding of the past and its relevance today, subscribe to The Benning for more deep, practical history that still holds up under real-world conditions. Share this with builders, historians, and survival-minded viewers who care about durability over convenience. The past only becomes useless when we stop using it.